Hello and welcome again to Shopping for the Real You. I'm Andrea Pflaumer, the author of Shopping for the Real You, and once again, my wonderful special guest is Brigitte Nioche. Did I pronounce that right again?
Yes, you do. You do very
Okay,
well.
okay.
Thank you.
Brigitte, first of all, is the author of this fabulous book, and I highly recommend it to everybody. It's called Living Longer, Living Well, How to Embrace the Changes of a Long Life. It is just so chock full with so much charm. And you're a fantastic writer, by the way, Brigitte.
Thank you.
It's so entertaining, there's nothing dull about it. And she presents the information so clearly. So today we're going to be talking about makeup and skincare. And she's a perfect exponent because she has very lovely skin. So the first question that I have, kind of the most obvious question is, what is the best way to keep our skin healthy? Because you can put a lot of makeup on, but if the underlying palette isn't working.
Yes, you're right. And I think the first thing I would like to say is, like you said, the underlying palette. We have to look at our face like a canvas. And if that canvas is in good condition and nice, the picture we paint on it is going to be so much prettier. So that's why the skin has to be, clean. And I think the first and the most important thing is that we keep it clean and stimulated.
Stimulated.
Stimulated, yeah. Clean, well, we all know what clean means, but, a lot of people I speak to still go to bed with their makeup on.
Oh, I can't believe it.
And now, believe me, it's something, and absolutely that should be a no-no. And many times I'm really tired and I would like to do that, but I don't allow myself to do that, yeah. And to have to clean it and then put the right moisturizer, and then your face can relax while you sleep at night, yeah.
And what is the problem of leaving make? I mean, I can't stand the feeling, but what are the problems of leaving makeup on at night?
Well, your pores can't breathe. You see, I mean, basically, whatever we put on the skin prevents the pores from breathing, and it clogs them up. And then in the morning, when you wash your face, it's much more difficult to get all that stuff off than it is in the evening. Yeah, and also because when your face at night only has moisturizer, it can breathe. It's like it has a rest. Put it this way, it can rest from all the stuff we put on it. Yeah,
Yeah.
and to clean it at night, I mean, there are many ways people clean their skin. You can use these little towelettes, these little guys here. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're very handy when you travel, I find, because sometimes you don't want to use the water or whatever. So they're very handy for that. But for me, it's still water and soap. Yeah. Now, some people say it dries their skin. There are products you can clean the skin with, but in the end, it's water that I feel has to touch your face. Yeah. And to stimulate, when I wash my face and before I kind of dry it, I use the coldest water I can from my tap and splash my face about 10, 15 times. And that is what I mean by stimulating. Yeah. And when you look in the mirror, then you're surprised how rosy you look all of a sudden. Your cheeks are rosy and your whole face looks different. Yeah. But at least 10 to 15 times and as cold as you can, just splash your face with the water. Yeah. And that is very good. And the other thing is exercise. I mean, we exercise our body and nobody ever talks about exercising your face. It has 48 muscles and they should be moved somehow. And when you don't, they just sag like the rest of our body. Yeah. I'm sorry, I hate to say this, but we all know that. So there is years and years ago, I bought this. Now it's a very old. It's a VCR. It comes out in a CD now. It's this thing here, and it's called Face-a-Size, and you can order it. I think it's a few dollars online, and it's a lady who started this because her husband said she was getting old too quickly. She looked too old too quickly for her age, so she invented this exercise program, and it takes I don't do all of it, I must say. I do some of it, yeah. But if you did all of it, it takes 11 minutes. And it is really, when I don't do it 2 days, it's like my skin all of a sudden loses its color. And so, it's called Face-a-Size, and it's by Carol Maggio. You can find it online. I checked it out before we spoke today. She's still on there, and she still sells these, now the CDs, of course, not this old-fashioned thing I have.
Great, wonderful.
Even if you only do a few of the exercise, it really lifts your face up. Yeah. So so the cleaning and the stimulating is necessary. When you run or you do other exercise, your face also looks better afterwards, you know.
That's right. Right.
I mean, anything we can do makes the skin better and gives us, like I call it, a better canvas to paint on then, you know.
Yeah, I know that the cold water is much better than real hot water. I've heard that hot water can age your skin, but the cold water
Yeah,
splash.
it doesn't really, you know. I mean, mind you, some people to clean their pores, they go over, with their face over a hot
Steam bath,
steam
right?
bath, and then, but again, afterwards, you have to use the cold water, yeah, to close the pores and to really, you know, get your the blood in your face moving, yeah. And hot water doesn't do that.
Uh-huh.
So cold, 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 the
Cold, cold.
coldest you can.
Well, so that brings up another question. When is it necessary, and is it necessary to have a professional facial?
I mean, some people like it very much. I started to do it, and I always found that my face was very tired afterwards because you know they really work your muscles and your face, and I always thought this is strange. You know it's supposed to make me look better, but somehow it didn't. And then I went with my mother a few times, and she said, "We don't look better, do we?" I said, "No, we don't." So that's a matter of some people like it, and some people. I mean, I have stopped doing it, but what I do is a face mask once a week.
Uh-huh.
That again, you know, goes into the pores, and some of these face masks they dry, and then it really again kind of activates your skin. Yeah, but I'm not against facials. Some people just love it. You have to go and see how you feel afterwards and how you look afterwards. Yeah.
Well, I admit I have a lovely woman that I go to for facials, but I absolutely agree with you that I feel very tired afterward.
Yeah.
And I have a suspicion of why that is, because when they're massaging your face, they're activating all the lymph nodes in your face.
Mhm,
And when
mhm.
you're detoxing like that,
Right,
you're detoxing and it makes me sleepy. So you
right.
have to drink a lot of water after you get a facial. But my mother did exactly what you said. She just used soap and water. I think she used Dove soap and had the most beautiful skin till the
Right.
day she died at 94. So,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think
so if you can't afford facials, you don't need to.
no, you really don't need to. I mean, it's you know, it's something, it's a luxury, but you don't need to. And like I said, a face mask once a week is good. And there too, if you can't, you know, buy the ones which are on the market, they cost anywhere from $9 to $50, depending on, you know, who makes it. You can go online and you can make them at home. Yeah,
That's true.
so you see, you don't have to buy them even. Yeah, one of them is olive oil and egg, yolk of egg. You see, and you put that on, and when it starts to dry, you wash it off. Yeah.
Huh.
So oatmeal, you can also make them with oatmeal. Yeah. So you don't have to buy them. It's easier to buy them and just use it, but you can actually use a natural product, and I think that's very stimulating for the skin too. Yeah.
That's true.
Very
That's
important.
true. And then you're not getting any of those toxic chemicals that a lot of these things have.
Well, and a lot of people are becoming very concerned about these
Yeah.
ingredients, you know, and they like to use natural things. So oatmeal is a natural thing here, and olive oil in eggs is natural. So I think you can find that out. But again, just Google it and it comes up.
So, is there one particular product? Maybe you mentioned it already. Maybe it has to do with the mask. But is there an important product to keep your skin glowing? Because my feeling is that as we age, that reflective quality is what we lose. So, is there some product that keeps you glowing?
Yes, and it's called moisturizer, moisturizer, moisturizer.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's absolutely, I mean, that's the most important thing because, like you say, we lose, and also it's not just that our age, it has to do also with our environment. In the winter now, I mean, in here, you are probably not that cold where you are right now, but where we are,
No, it's
I
pretty
mean,
cold here.
the heating, I mean, makes your skin so dry and takes all the moisture out. Yeah. So it's not just because we're getting older, it's also our environment. So moisturizer. Sometimes, you know, I get up at night and I feel so dry, I put moisturizer here. And I always laugh at myself. I think you even at night, but you know, my skin doesn't feel good. Yeah. So I
Yeah.
put moisturizer and it feels better. So moisturizer is really the key to keep your skin glowing. And sometimes in the morning when you get up, you don't put right away makeup or you don't, you know, but I always wash my face and put the moisturizer. never mind what happens afterwards. Yeah,
Yeah.
because not so much even it feels better. My face
Yes.
doesn't feel good when it's dry. Yeah, so moisturizer to me is the secret. Now, I think I can anticipate your next question.
Which one?
Which one? Right. And again, I mean, there are, I would say, thousands of
Thousands.
moisturizers out there. And it's maybe a question of trying it out and seeing what works well. I came across something, I mean, L'Oreal, they all sell us this hope in a jar.
Right.
And we think if it's $110, it's better than when it's $75. And one of my family members worked for Lancome. And they always said, like the products from L'Oreal, which belongs to Lancome, they're just as good as the ones from Lancome. Yeah, so the price is not the deciding factor. Yeah, some people, there are people who like to pay more and think it is so much better. It's also a psychological thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
but you can go very, very low, and they're just as good. When a few years ago, I went to the dermatologist, and he recommended this. I don't know. Can you see the name?
Cetaphil. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. That is magic. It is this. That's what I use as a moisturizer. And he said to me, because I asked him at the time, I said, what is all this moisturizing? I wanted to know it from a doctor, from a dermatologist. And he said, look, don't go for all these expensive things. He said, they don't do much more than the normal ones. He said, the best one of the lower price product is this one. Yeah. And I've been using it ever since, and it feels so good when you put it on. Yeah. So I can highly recommend that. And this whole pot, I mean, it's a huge pot. It's what, a pound? It has, 20 ounces in it. I mean, that's really a lot.
That's a
And
lot.
it's $12.95. So
At your local drugstore.
the local drugstore. You see, I also believe you have to try everything once. When somebody recommends something to me, I try it.
Yeah.
If it works, fine. If it doesn't, I stop. So I think, there is no definitive answers to say this product is better or that product is better, because people are different and everybody reacts differently to these things. But the point is, you have to try it out.
That's great advice.
You
I know
know?
my sister told me that a tip that one of her friends told her, and I've started to do it. It makes a big difference. Even after you have your makeup on during the day, if you catch yourself in the mirror and you look a little dry, you apply some moisturizer over your makeup, and it
Absolutely.
brightens you up.
Absolutely. She's absolutely right. Because, like I said, during the day, through the heat and everything else,
That's
our skin, and now it also battles with the makeup.
right.
Very good advice. Definitely.
And keep drinking your water, ladies.
Oh, yes, 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 yes. That's something I have a bit of a problem with.
So,
Thank you for the reminder.
so now we're going to get into the weeds about we ladies. We don't. I just love the one of the things that Brigitte talks about in living longer, living well. I'm going to give another shameless plug. Is that she never tells her age anymore, and I have stopped telling my age, and it is making a huge difference because it changes the way I think about who I am.
Right.
But we are dealing with women who are, we'll just say this, over 50.
Right.
And so what should we start paying attention to or be aware of as we're getting older as far as makeup is concerned?
Okay. I mean, this is a cliche I'm going to say now because we've all heard it, that less is more. Yeah. And I think that is very true because, I mean, if you look at I don't think we should use any more these liquid or these cake makeups. They settle into the little lines we have, and even if you don't see them when you don't wear makeup, you see them once you have put the makeup on. That is about the thing that I find amazing. And there are women, they stand, I mean, you look at them and their whole face, if they washed it, they would look younger, but it's that wrong,
That's true.
it's that wrong makeup. They think, I mean, makeup can do a lot, and I believe in it, but it cannot, if it's used wrongly, it's actually not a friend of ours, And I have found out that I'm using this, what is it called, powdered mineral foundation. It's
Ah,
a
the mineral stuff, yeah.
mineral, and that's this one here from L'Oreal. It's called Rare Natural, and it's very, very good because it has a little brush in it, and then all you do is put this in here and go over your face. Yeah,
Huh.
and it really takes the shine away. And if you want more coverage, you just go over a few times. And if you just want a little bit because you're just running around the house or just going shopping, you can just use less. Yeah, but this is perfect, and it leaves the skin. You can still see the skin. It isn't this heavy coverage. But if you want more, like I said, you just put on more. And while we at the brush business, I forgot to mention this before, we have to clean out anything we use for our face at least every 2 weeks. You see, this little brush has to be washed and everything else too, because stuff sticks in it, And if I go a lot of times into the powder and this is not clean, it doesn't apply it as nicely. Okay.
That's right.
So that is the powder, I think, is the most important. What we call foundation is the most important thing to be careful with. Yeah. On the eyes, you can go a little heavier. I mean, it doesn't,
You want
not.
to show yourself.
Yeah. But I think that the powder is really the most important. And if you can't, and there are women who don't like to wear makeup at all anymore over 50. But there are two things they should have: mascara and lipstick. Because you see, the mascara gives your eyes a little more life, yeah. And lipstick, of course, brightens up your whole face, yeah.
That's right.
I wrote a blog on it last week on lipsticks are our best friends.
It's the thing about foundation, and I wanted to ask you about this. So I love the idea of mineral makeup, and I just started using some mineral makeup that I really like, and but I was a sun worshiper in my youth, and I have age spots. I have those dark age spots. And so does the mineral foundation cover something like that?
Well, for the there is a cover, like a cover stick you can buy, and like what is it called, a base, yeah, which I use around my eyes, and for those things you can use that stick before you put this mineral on.
Okay.
Yeah, but one good point is when you cover a spot, don't go like this.
Yeah,
put the foundation. I mean, and just dab it. Yeah, and then go over it, and it doesn't show. Yeah,
right.
I mean, we all have those spots, sun or not sun, they come, and that's a very good concealer, they call it,
Right.
The concealing sticks, yeah, and just a little bit, and here, just dab it, yeah. And also that concealer is very good to put around the nose here, because we do get red there. I don't know for what reason, but just a little bit kind of covers that as well. Yeah.
And it brightens your face up too.
It brightens your face, yeah. But you have good skin.
I have pretty good skin. Yeah, I'm fortunate in that. Yeah, but I bow down to the Church of Moisturizer myself too.
Church of Moisturizer. That's a very good way to put it.
So always lipstick and eye makeup if you like it. I personally don't wear. I don't wear much eyeshadow anymore. I do a little liner and mascara.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, eyeshadow, again, if you're not careful, and especially a lot of times you only find sparkling eyeshadow. Yeah. I always say, I don't want my wrinkles to sparkle on top of that. So I think you're doing absolutely the right thing. No eyeshadow. It's really not necessary, So.
Terrific. Well, Brigitte Nioche, this is wonderful. And these tips and more are in her book, Living Longer, Living Well. And you have one more thing?
Yeah, I have one more thing to say. That, it also, when people say, talk about skin and why do you have nice skin? What you eat does make a difference too. I mean, that's a totally other chapter, but I just would like to mention
it's the essential point. Please talk.
Yeah, I mean, like vegetables, and I know they say 5 vegetables a day. Now, I don't manage 5 vegetables a day, but if you eat 2 and fruit and so forth, I think that helps a lot too. Yeah, because I remember when I was a child and somebody would come and have like all kind of pimples in their faces. My grandmother would look at them and say, "Oh, they don't eat any vegetables. That's why they have that face." And it's not untrue, because it truly affects how you look is what you eat.
That's absolutely true.
Yeah. And by the way, that includes a glass of wine is not a bad thing. That also helps your skin. I think No, because people say, "Oh, you drink any alcohol?" And I always say, "Yes, I do." And it's just part of. And they say red wine is very good for your whole body, and I think for your skin too. Yeah,
Yeah,
and
the only things that I know will really age you are sugar.
yeah,
If people who eat too much sugar, it's going to really deplete your skin and your whole body, and too much caffeine.
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah. I mean, a cup of coffee in the morning and maybe one in the afternoon is not bad. But like you say, some people drink an awful lot of
yeah,
coffee.
a little too much. Yeah,
That's a little too much. But everybody kind of has to also, it's a little work, try out what works for them and what doesn't. There's no magic formula out there that I can say, go and buy that and it will work. You have to go through the process of trying different things and finding out what's good for you. Yeah.
that's
So,
right. I think that's such good advice because um, it's the concept of, oh, fix me. No, no, you
yeah.
have to fix yourself.
That is true, but we live in a fix me world.
Yes,
If
we
it is for
do. That's right.
medication or whatever it is, it's always the line, "Oh, you will be fine." And sometimes you feel like saying, how will that person be fine?
That's
So
right.
we want this instant fixer. We want, yeah, and like you say, the fixer is us. It's
That's
not
right.
it's not a little bottle or not somebody else. It's really the effort we make. Yeah.
So keep it clean, keep it moisturized, keep it simple,
And
and
keep it light. The
eat,
makeup, keep it light. Yeah.
and then
So,
eat well and hydrate and
and this when I sometimes when people talk about these things, it sounds like it's a lot of work or and it's complicated. It isn't because it becomes a way of life
that's
when
right.
you do that.
That's right.
After a while, once you get used to that, you don't even have to think about it anymore. You will get up and put your moisturizer.
That's
You will drink that glass of water, and it's a lifestyle, and it's not anymore an effort because sometimes even when I listen to some advice, it's a little scary. All the things you have to do. I think, oh my God, I have to take off work. To be having to do this. But it isn't that. It's just really a routine you fall into, and that's not very difficult to do.
And it's all part of staying visible as we get older. So it's all, and because I think in my case, and I know I see it in my people that I work with, uh, when you make that part of your routine, you feel like you are alive, you're in life, you're engaged, and you're going out to present yourself. You're
Right.
not just sort of carrying your sleepy, ashen skin out of bed and into the world.
No, you're right, and the biggest thrill, of course, if when somebody says, "Oh, you look nice," you think, "Oh, was worthwhile to wash my hair again this morning." Sometimes you think, "Oh, you get a little." I mean, not lazy is not the word, but here and there you would prefer if you didn't have to do it. Let's put it this way. But when you make the effort, it always is nice, and it's a payoff, in a way. Yeah, and so I think we should keep doing it. Yeah.
Wonderful. Well, Brigitte Nioche, this is terrific. We're going to continue this conversation. We're going to get into fashion and accessories and all the things you love. If you haven't caught it already, we've already done a wonderful interview about shoes, and I've had wonderful comments about that. So please stay tuned to Shopping for the Real You when we join our wonderful guest again, Brigitte Nioche. Thanks so much.
Thank you very much for having me. It was always a pleasure to talk to you. Thank you, Andrea.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.